And just like that, we are back in business. Welcome back, y'all. This is another edition of Wacky, Wild, Wake 'em Up Wednesday, and I am your host, Jake the Awake. Are you guys ready to have some fun tonight? Like always, I have a great show lined up for you guys. Not only are we going to be discussing this White House dinner incident, but we're also going to be talking about how this subject is being gatekept by a bunch of mainstream big-time YouTubers and shills who are trying to gatekeep the narrative surrounding this latest White House shooting. So I'm going to get to the bottom of all that and much more. Hit the thumbs up, y'all. We're about ready to get this party started. You guys ready to roll? All right. So before the show even began, had a bunch of super chats come in like always. And I even had a few last week that I missed. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Knock out some super chats, and then we'll go ahead and officially kick off the show. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Rose is here. She says, hello, Jake the Awake. Hi, Rose. Nice to see you. All right. Sunflower's here. She says, you lied to me. All those gunshots I thought were so real. You lied to me. Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Good one, Sunflower. All right. Good times. Decran says, he's never this late. Yeah, well, I had to get my lights all set up and get everything all set up and get my ice water. And I had a few notes that I needed to take so I could keep everything straight, because there's a lot to explain, more so than usual. And so I had to do a little extra legwork on my end to get everything set up. So yeah, a little bit late, but hey, we're here. We're started. We're off and running. So you guys ready to get the show started? Get this show on the road? All right, let's go ahead and kick it off with these super chats that came in so early that they aren't even showing up on my end. So I'll have to pull them up on the watch page. So the very first super chat came in from RY, and he says, just like that POD song from the year 2000, Jake came here to rock the party all night long. I don't think I know that particular POD song that you're talking about, but I do know some other POD songs like I feel so alive for the very first time, and I think I can fly. I feel so alive for the very first time, and I want some pizza pie. Right, I remember that one. I also remember, didn't they have another song? We are youth of the nation. We are youth of the nation. Right? See, I remember a few POD songs. They were never one of my favorite bands, but they had a few hits that made it on the radio and made it into my head. So props to them for that. All right, RY with another super chat says, Jake, I missed your Saturday live stream. I watched it later on Sunday, and it was awesome. My favorite was the Trump impressions and the Asmon Gold and the Jack Morgan reaction to Lintaway's YouTube videos. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, brother. And thank you for the super chat donations getting us started today. RY with a third super chat. So he comes in with the first 3 super chats of the night, long before the stream even started. That's how RY likes to get down. He says, can you do a fittest flat earther impression of him doing a ridiculous fallen angel comparison? But instead of it being fittest flat earther's voice, it's Jaren's voice, chin emphasis, All right. That's a strange request, but I think I can maybe make this happen. Hey, guys. Tyler Hansen here, also known as Fittest Flat Earther, but instead of my regular voice, I have Jaren's voice. I don't know why. I guess that's the way that the Heavenly Father wants it, so I can help wake you guys up to all these deceivers and deceptions going on with these fallen angels. Guys, I went with Will Duffy to Antarctica, and I saw the sun do a 360 over my head. That's how I know the Earth cannot be flat. And I also learned Hulk Hogan is the Liver King. If you don't believe that the Earth is a globe and that Hulk Hogan is Liver King, you are retarded. And guys, Hulk Hogan has a freckle. Liver King has the same freckle. Clearly, they're the same person. Duh, you guys. Me and Will Duffy, we saw the sun do a 360, and we both know Hulk Hogan is Liver King, you guys. If you don't believe that, then you're not a real truther. I'm the only real truther, you guys. There you go. Fittest Flat Earther, but Jaren's voice instead. Why? That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted, sir. I am merely a vessel to make your comedic suggestions happen. I'm not in control over what you guys choose. Oh, go back. There it goes. All right. Nicholas Giannakakos with a super chat said, "Good evening, Jake. Can you do Aaron Haywood vehemently arguing that you are a shape-shifting archon against Trump who believes you are a Chinese spy? Thank you, and God bless." All right, Nicholas, let me see what I can do here. All right. I've received word that not only is Jake the asshole who calls himself Jake the Awake now, not only might he be a bloody shape-shifting archon who's also a moldy roller, but I also think he also might be a Chinese spy on top of all of it. Now, I have my doubts, but after watching recent videos of the Fittest Flat Earther, I've come to realize this shape-shifting moldy roller, he's been playing roles ever since he entered the scene as young Robert De Niro in the movie Taxi Driver. Right now, I believe he's crossbreeding his Nephilim DNA with Chinese spy DNA. Crossbred with the Nephilim. All right. What? All right, it's getting crazy. Getting a little crazy. Big Money Bob sending 5 Jake the Awake gift memberships. Thank you, Big Money Bob. I appreciate that. DCran4D says, please show us Ralph before you end the stream. Oh, sure. He's right here. Come here, Ralph. You got to make an appearance real quick. I gave him a bone to chew on, so right now he's got a pork roast bone. I made a big old pork roast and it had a big hunky bone in it. So I let him have it and he's chewing on it. So he wants to get back to chewing his bone. You can tell he's like, let me down. Here you go. Yeah, it had to be a quick appearance. He's got other concerns right now. He's got himself a pork bone. Lucky dog. All right. Maybe I can pull this next super chat up on screen now. There we go. Okay, now I can get rid of this. So Lemming in a shiny metal box says, now that everyone is over 16 is eligible to watch Jake the Awake, I encourage everyone to hit the thumbs up. It's safe, effective, and free. So hit the thumbs up as soon as you can. That's a good idea. Let's start the stream with a thumbs up drive. Let's get everybody and their mama to hit the thumbs up right here, right now. And if you're not watching right here, right now, live, if you're watching the replay, I still need you and your mama to hit the thumbs up right here, right now. All right. Thank you, Lemming in a shiny metal box. I appreciate the generous super chat. Lint Away Duct Cleaning, the official duct cleaning source of the White House. That's right. Nobody does a better job cleaning ducts better than Lint Away Duct Cleaning Service. And no, he didn't pay me to say that. All right. He says, nobody knows more about assassinations than Trump. So check it out, y'all. This time they're making it more than obvious that this was a staged event. And now they're even having shill YouTube channels and big name YouTubers call it out and get huge view counts. Meanwhile, they bury my video. So they're essentially controlling the conspiracy narrative that the event was staged and making it out like these shill YouTubers with millions of subs are now your go-to source for conspiracy news. Sneaky bastards. I'm going to show you tonight some examples of like left-wing pundits, these left-wing talking head channels with like millions of subs. They're calling it staged. It's like, hey, you're not allowed to steal my talking points, you assholes. And they're conveniently leaving out the world stage aspect. So all these channels who are insinuating that the White House shooting possibly might be staged, they're completely leaving out the world stage aspect, that all of these characters are playing a role on the world stage and that everything is always staged, right? So there's people who are like questioning the event, but they're making it out like it was Trump and his administration that staged the whole thing. It's ridiculous. I'm going to get into that in detail tonight. This one's getting deep, y'all. They're letting the public know that this one was possibly staged, but they're using their right-wing shills and left-wing shills to be the ones to bring the truth, while gatekeeping the deeper truth behind the whole thing. So it's going to take a lot of explanations and video clips to get to the bottom of it, but I'm going to do just that tonight. All right. RY says, later, can you do an impression of Mag reacting to one of Lintaway's air duct cleaning shorts? There is no Lintaway duct cleaning service. It doesn't exist. Nobody's dryer ducts is this dirty. You need to wake up. Let me tell you something, people. There's no such thing as a Lintaway air duct cleaning service. You hear this Jake the Awake talking about the Lintaway duct service clean the ducts of the White House. It's nothing but bullshit. You need to wake your ass up right now. He's lying to your people. Lintaway air duct cleaning service does not clean the air ducts of the White House. It's some bullshit to fool the wannabe truthers. You need to listen to me. You need to wake yourself up right now with the bam. I'm gone. There you go. There's Mag right there on the spot, right? I didn't have one of Lintaway's air duct videos up, but you get the gist. All right. Doxological Thinker says, I wonder if there will be any live breaking news to interrupt your stream tonight. The bang, bang, pow, pow might be hard to beat. Yeah, so last week I was breaking down the missing scientists and David Shilcock, right? And then the breaking news with the White House dinner happened. And I was like, shit, that's bigger news than the two things I was talking about, right? So I had to start covering that last week as it was going down. But this week, now that everyone's had time to digest the event and I've had time to see who's saying what and what the official narrative is, and then what the government approved conspiracy narrative is, now I can give you guys the full scoop of what's really going on. So, good news is I have a very thorough investigation that I've done over this whole thing now that I've had a few days to sift through it all, rather than, try and figure it out all on the spot as it was happening. So, also, I missed one of your super chats, brother. You sent a super chat last week just as I hit the end stream button. You and someone else like literally as I hit the end button, you sent in a super chat. So I'll find that here once I get through these current super chats, and I'll read your super chat from last week and make everything good. I don't want anyone to think that I intentionally missed super chats. So I'm going to go out of my way to read them all. If you're going to pay for me to pull your super chat up and read it, then I'm going to do my damnedest to pull them up and read them and do whatever impression or read whatever you want me to read. All right. Achy Dragon says, Jake, be careful about giving pork bones to Ralphie. See chat, see the risk dangers. So they're the big ones, and it doesn't really turn into splinters. And so I let him chew on it for a little bit. And then he gets to, once he chews off all the meat and little fatty, gristly parts and whatnot, then he gets tired of it and leaves it. So he doesn't like eat the whole thing. And the big ones from the roasts, they don't splinter. Here it is. See? So he already ate the meat off of it, and now he's done with it. See? And he won't try and eat the rest of this. Right? So, pretty good about what I give to my dog. All right, I read that one. And RY says, Trump does a whole lot of whisking. Got to give credit to the Secret Service. You know, we heard a loud noise. I thought it was the sound of a tray going down. You know, I've heard that noise before, but then it turned out to be a gun. So Secret Service stepped in and they whisked us away. They did a wonderful job with the whisking away of myself and Melania. So we are quite thankful to still be alive. And so my heart goes out to the Secret Service and the wonderful whisking job that they did. Whisking. All right. Sometimes, you know what they say, sometimes you got to whisk it to get the biscuit. All right. That's enough of that. Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning says, Trump confronting Aaron Haywood. All right, so there's this guy who's claiming that I'm some sort of shape-shifting archon, and clearly this is not the case. I'm not a Chinese spy. I'm not a shapeshifter. I've always been this same individual. There are no imposter doppelganger actors playing the role of myself or my beautiful wife. There is nobody who could ever possibly pull off the role of playing yours truly. As you know, I'm the greatest president of all time. That's why we have the hottest country ever. If you think they could get some imposter to pretend to be me, the most popular person in the world, you got to be crazy. Got to be some sort of a lunatic like that crazy liberal fella who tried to shoot me the other night. That's exactly what a shape-shifting moldy roller would say. As you can see, Trump is doing damage control on behalf of the Nephilim. That's why he's trying to claim there's no such thing as a shape-shifting archon when clearly Jake the asshole, known as Jake the Awake, is playing the role of Trump, and he also played the role of Elvis Presley. All right. RY says, before you start, I need Roseanne and Land on the Moon guy having a heated debate about Trump and the 49ers. I have to tell you right now, after the current draft picks that the 49ers have chosen, they are clearly the favorite to win the Super Bowl this next year, and they shall not be denied, my friend. It was quite a painful sight to see the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl in the 49ers stadium, but this next year, we will have the last laugh, my friend. and I believe that George Kittle is going to be the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Well, that's exactly what a fucking commie would say. Everybody knows that nothing but commies come from fucking San Francisco. And of course, there's more homosexuals in San Francisco than anywhere else in the world. So therefore, I can only assume that you're nothing but a homosexual commie.
That is exactly what some white trash fat bitch would say, and you are making an assumption. Do you know what happens when you make an assumption? You make an ass out of you and umption, my friend. So I do not think you want to be making any incorrect assumptions, because the 49er is going to kick the living shit out of the Seahawks. They are nothing more than paper champions. All right. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. All right. RY wants doot at the White House dinner.
I was at the White House dinner, and we were eating, we were having salad, and we were having a wonderful time, and that's when we hear do 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 do, and that's when we get down, and we hide under the table, and then we wait, and then they whisk Trump away, they whisk him away, and then they say that Trump almost gets assassinated. And that's when I know that the sound was not firework. The sound was gunfire. The sound do 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 and do 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 do.
There you go. Doot-de-doo lady at the White House dinner. You have to be keeping up with my channel to understand all of these impressions and inside jokes. So that's kind of the deal. If you follow along with my live streams regularly, then you get all of these impressions and it all makes sense. If you don't follow me regularly, you might be wondering what the hell some of these impressions are all about. It's part of the deal. You gotta keep up with the live streams in order to be in on all these funny jokes and impressions, man. Lintaway Duct Cleaning says, did you hear the tick that makes people allergic to red meat? I saw some video thumbnails with that in the title, but I haven't really checked into it. I've stuck more with these other trending topics so far. So if they make more of a big deal about it, and it looks like it might be the next plandemic or something, then maybe I'll start talking about it. But right now, it hasn't been worth my while to cover it. Seems like there's other more exciting fake stories for me to break down. But who knows, if the news gets shitty and there's weeks where they don't have any good stories for me to break down, then I might scrape the bottom of the barrel and talk about that. All right. RY says Elmo talks about the White House dinner.
Elmo was also in attendance at the correspondence dinner, and Elmo was scared out of his mind. President Trump almost got shooted. There was a libtard who ran past all of the security, and he took a shot at Trump and one of Trump's security, and that was crazy. Elmo was so scared. Elmo went under the table, and Elmo waited for the whole thing to be over with. And Elmo was escorted outside. Elmo called Big Board and said, Big Board, oh my God, I almost died.
All right. Oh, fuck. It's ridiculous. I shouldn't be able to do that. I was cursed with the ability to do a better, more funny Elmo than Elmo ever wished he could do. At this point, if the person who does the voice of Elmo ever dies, they could come pay me to do it, hide my face, and nobody would know, right? All right. So, I think now we can get on with the show. All right. Actually, I had a couple super chats that I did miss last week. let me quickly grab those, and then we'll get started with the video clips and break down all these shenanigans on the world stage. And I appreciate all of the super chat love, you guys. It's over the top. So over the top that sometimes I can't keep track of it all. Okay, I gotta go to my list of super chats that came in. Fuck. One sec, guys. Okay. So I had to dig up these old super chats real quick to make everything right. So last week, here it is. Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning says, Jake, you motivate me as a YouTuber. Your consistency, your words of being a real guy, everything else. Thank you for another great stream. So that super chat came in just as I ended the stream, and I felt bad that I didn't get to read it. So there, now I read it this week. And I had one from Doxological Thinker at the exact same time come in with a super chat last week. And he says, Lint Away is the best this side of the Mississippi. You could be the best on the other side of the Mississippi. So Doxological Thinker, Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning. Sorry for missing your super chats from last week. And now I am officially caught up and we can get on with the show. All right, guys. Hey, there you go. I go out of my way to make sure that anyone who's sending their money in for me to read their super chat, that I do my best to get it up on the screen and get it read. All right. So let's go ahead and get the first video up on screen. All right. So I wanted to show you guys that there's channels out there that are covering the White House shooting, and they're claiming that it was a real shooting and that the mainstream narrative is the correct narrative. And then there are channels out there, big YouTube channels, claiming it might possibly be staged. So I'm going to show you examples of all that. And I'm going to show you how they're leaving out the crucial information about the world stage aspect. None of them are including the world stage notion at all. All right. All right, so here's sorry for the delays, guys. I have a bunch of different videos I need to pull up, and trying to like sort it all out can sometimes be difficult to do on the spot. All right. So the first one I wanted to show was this Trump shooting incident body language. They have these body language experts who are coming out and saying that this event was legit and it was real. It was a real assassination attempt. And then they're claiming that the body language from Trump and everyone on stage is that of a real event, and that the body language of the crowd is that of an actual event taking place. And so there's channels like this who are spinning and getting huge view counts, I might add, spinning the narrative that they're some sort of expert breaking down body language, and they're spinning the official narrative. So check this out.
At the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Cole Thomas Allen tried to shoot President Trump. And if you were watching the pregame for that, you saw it happen live. And when they were reporting it, every news station got it wrong, every one. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the body language we saw after the shooting happened. Everybody was showing that shot of Weijia Yang. I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly. It's Zhang, Yang, something like that. Anyway, she's the news correspondent for CBS. And when she put her hand to her mouth, everybody thought that was when the shooting happened. And that's what they showed, and that's what they talked about. I actually heard somebody say, oh, she covered her mouth in horror as the shots rang out. Nope. And I've enhanced the gunshots so you can hear them clearly, so we'll know exactly when the gunshots happened and exactly when the reactions happened, because nobody on that stage heard that shooting. First, let's take a look at what it sounded like on TV or streaming, whichever one you were watching. That's the view people got live as it was streaming. They're sitting there at the table, waiting for everything to start, and Oz is doing a magic trick. He's showing it to the First Lady, he's showing it to President Trump, and Ms. Yang is watching as well. That's the shot that was going live on the news and streaming. Then we see Ms. Yang cover her mouth, and everyone starts looking out at the crowd. The first person at that table to recognize what's going on is Mrs. Trump. We see the classic signs of an expression of surprise and fear. Eyes wide open, blank stare, mouth open a little bit, focused. President Trump, he's still looking at what's going on with the magic trick. Apparently, it takes a lot to fluster him. As soon as Oz turns that piece of paper around, Miss Yang opens her mouth in surprise and shock. But that's all fake. How do we know that? Because we see real surprise and shock when she turns to the crowd.
See that? So he's explaining, when you see her put her hand over her mouth, she's reacting to the trick. And now she's reacting to the gunshot. So this guy is spinning the narrative that this was a legitimate assassination attempt. And he's basically like some sort of body language expert, according to himself, right? So the normies will trust the narrative like this, and they'll be lulled back into believing the official narrative. So any skepticism any normie might have, they might come across this, and then their skepticism is laid to rest, and they go back to believing the mainstream narrative, right?
She knows something's up. She doesn't know what, but she knows something's up. Same thing for everybody at the table. Again, that's what went out live. The gunshots happened almost 9 seconds before that. It's hard to hear, and they couldn't hear it at all. So I cleaned it up, made it clear as to when the gunshots happened.
He enhanced the gunshots, right? So he went through and made the supposed gunshots louder. See, so this is designed for any normies who stumble across this video to be lulled back to sleep, right? Oh, okay. I heard people saying maybe it was staged, but I guess for sure it was real, because we got this body language expert reassuring us that this definitely happened. When you enhance the gunshots, then for sure you can tell that it was a real shooting.
And we can see it's 9.16 seconds later when she reacts. You always hear about freeze, fight, or flight.
So he's got a few different angles in here that are actually pretty damning, in my opinion. Like, it makes it look super staged, but he's trying to act like this is all body language of a legitimate event. Like this second view and third view of the whole event.
And slowly, people move.
All right. Music continues playing. The crowd doesn't run away. In this shot, they all mostly just stay seated. Hardly any of them actually get down. Some of them just keep eating and drinking. And then watch the way when the security team comes in, the way they walk over people's chairs and tables. It's really strange looking. And then this is where Trump gets whisked away. See, this guy right here just sat back down at the table. Plenty of these people are still seated, not scared at all. Like once you see Secret Service team come in and start aiming like rifles, that should freak everyone out. But no. Now here's when the security team comes in and they step all over everyone and walk on top of the chairs and tables for added dramatic effect. Look at this. They make sure not to cut through. No, they walk over the chairs and tables. Now, this is what I mean by it just looks so weird, like this whole group of security, the way that they're entering the scene right here. Like, what are they even doing? Like, why are they all slowly stepping over the chairs? And like, what even is happening? And then they knock over that table or whatever right there. Like, why? Like, what are you guys doing? See, so by watching the whole thing, not just a clip, there's nothing about that seems like a genuine shooting to me. Like, nobody seems frantic. Doesn't seem to be any chaos. Nobody's freaked out. Not one woman is like, oh my God, right? Like, shouldn't there be at least one freaked out woman who screams? But no, nobody's like, what the fuck is going on? Right? No. So just watching from start to finish one of their views, right? From before it goes down to when the guys run in, there's nothing about this that seems like a genuine event. So they made this one as obvious as possible that they're staging an event, right? So obvious that they even have left-wing big name YouTubers covering this event and claiming it might possibly be staged. All right, let me go ahead and read some of these super chats that came in that I haven't read yet. And then we'll get back to this video. Lint Away Duct Cleaning says, Jake, when was the last time you ate Little Caesars? It's been years. I don't like that fake pizza. So I don't eat pizza that often, but when I do, I prefer it to be a step above Little Caesars, right? So yeah, I'm not a fan of the product. So I would say it's probably been 5 years or more since the last time I ate that shit. Honestly. Doxological Thinker says, for context, last stream, Jake said if YouTube even didn't work out, he would maybe try duct cleaning. That's what my super chat was about. Oh yeah, I said that I should get into the duct cleaning business because you're obviously, making a killing cleaning all these dirty ducks, and then you post the videos and get millions of views. So I was like, man, I need to get into the air duct cleaning business. All right. RY says Asian gang lady calls the shooter amateur.
This shooting was total amateur hour. If you really want to kill someone, then you need to call Asian Lady Gang. We kill anyone you want. We dispose of the body. You don't have to worry about getting caught. We did a great job. We take care of the body, so you don't have to dig. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do, you give us the money. You tell us who you want to get killed, and then we kill them, and then we get rid of the body, and then your problem solved. You never have to worry again. You call Asian Lady Gang. You give it the money, we kill. Money from you, we kill the body. We get rid of the body.
All right, there you go. Amateur Asian Lady Gang. Doxological Thinker says no gunshot enhancement will ever be as good as doot doot do lady. That's right. So this is view 2. And just before the gunshots happened, you can see the magic trick taking place. All right. And I went ahead and I enhanced the gunshots. Do, 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 do. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Da, 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 da. There you go. There's doot doot do lady doing the sound effects. Rix James says, sup, Jake, can we get Richie from Boston's take on the White House dinner? I've been telling you for years that these events are always staged. However, one thing that they're keeping a secret from the public is that this is a distraction from the Chinese nano drones. So this was one of the most obvious staged events that we've ever seen come out of the White House. That's because they don't want people talking about the Chinese nano drones that have invaded everyone's anus and is implanting Chinese nano AIDS right now, as we speak, into everyone's anus across the nation and the world. And the only way that you can cure yourself from Chinese nano AIDS is if you vape my 100% organic Bible vape juice cartridges. I'm vaping some right now, so I make sure that my anus is impenetrable by these Chinese nano drones. You can order from my promo code down below, and you can get 66.6% off. We're running a huge sale right now. That's because I want everybody to have access to my organic Bible vape juice, because no man should have to deal with Chinese nano drones implanting Chinese nano AIDS deep within their anus. At any rate, please like, share, and subscribe, or don't. This is Richie from Boston, and I'm out. There you go. Richie from Boston. That's his take on the event. Rex James, thank you very much for the generous super chat, sir. RY said, it's got to be real because it looks so fake. So like I said, they have big YouTube channels saying that it's real, and they have big YouTube channels saying it's possibly fake. However, the channels who are claiming it's possibly fake, are not diving deep down the rabbit hole and talking about how the government as a whole works in collusion with the mainstream media to dupe the public. Instead, they're making it out like Trump and his regime are the ones who staged it. So they're basically just blaming Trump for the whole reason that it was staged rather than going any deeper, right? So I'll get more into that in detail here in a minute. All right, Dcran4D says, they're all actors for sure. How do people believe this garbage? Thanks, Jake, for breaking it down. So this one, they're actually making it obvious that it was staged, and then they're having shill channels and mainstream YouTube channels with millions of subs come out and ask questions and talk about things that aren't adding up. And so what they're doing is they're getting the public who are skeptical of this event to go to these shill YouTubers, left-wing, right-wing pundit YouTubers, and get their government-approved conspiracy narrative from those channels rather than from guys like me. So check it out. They are circumventing people from figuring out that these events are staged by the government in collusion with the mainstream media. And so they're keeping people from discovering the world stage aspect at all by having these left-wingers and right-wingers with millions of subs say that it was possibly staged by Trump in order to get a new ballroom, or in order to make the Democrats look evil and gain favoritism from his MAGA-tards. Make it look to his hardcore MAGAs like he's like his life is in danger by the radical left, right? So they're spinning that narrative rather than going deeper and exposing that the mainstream media and the government work together to orchestrate these events and stage these events. And it's not just this one event. All right. RY says, I need your best Eric Kirk impression of her leaving the White House dinner. I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I should already be at home taking care of my kids. But you never see me taking care of my kids. You always see me in one of my fancy nightgowns, out enjoying political dinners, always on the world stage, but I'm never taking care of my kids. But right now, I just want to go home. Leave me alone. I want to go home. There you go. Little Erica Kirk for that ass. Guacamole Kid said, dude, the topic is unemployment, economic collapse. Or, dude, the next topic is unemployment, economic collapse. Yeah, but there's a ton of channels spinning that, and they've been spinning that for like a couple of years now. So to me, it gets depressing to hear about how nobody can find a job and nobody can afford to live, and everything's just going to shit because there's like a ton of channels spinning that right now. And so once that gets in your algorithm and your homepage gets dominated by nothing but people can't survive, people can't afford to live, no one can find a job, doom and gloom, then it like starts to get to me. So personally, that shit really gets to me, and I don't like to make content about it because then it just has a bunch of people telling depressing stories in the comments section, and the whole thing's just depressing as fuck, right? And it makes me think that like, oh well, no point in even trying, right? And that's what they want, right? So they want everyone to be depressed and thinking about economic collapse, right? And worried about it, right? Eat up your energy. So, yeah, I know it's a popular thing to talk about. And a lot of channels are making a lot of money right now and getting a ton of views talking about how everything's collapsing and shit. But if I talk about it, it makes me feel shitty. So I try and point at how the news and the government are working together to dupe the public and help people see through the deception and do that sort of thing more so than focusing on the impending economic collapse, right? But it is happening for sure, man. You don't need me to tell you that that's happening. It's obvious. Lintaway Duct Cleaning says, I miss Elon with Trump. Elon, my favorite world stage person. Yeah, they need to get back together. Maybe for the Mars mission, if they do a fake flyby Mars mission. So I'm going to team up with my BFF Elon once more, SpaceX and NASA. We're going to work together. We have Mars on our mind. If we're going to get back to Mars, we need to put our minds together, all right? Put aside our differences. And I know Elon and I, we don't agree on everything, but one thing we definitely agree on, we need to get back to Mars, and we need to do it immediately. Creepy Joe, he doesn't care about Mars. Obama, he never cared about Mars. Obama gave you sheets. I gave you javelins. So that's why Elon Musk and I, we're going to be teaming up. We're going to be flying by Mars very soon. Now watch, they're going to do that. They're going to team up again. Wouldn't shock me. Break them up and then have them get back together again, and then have them break up again. Doxological Thinker says they should hire RY to write their scripts. His super chat suggestions are more believable than this. Love World Peace Nearing says, Jake, we wanted Erica Kirk, not Miss Piggy. Yeah, well, that's what she sounds like to me. Yeah, I haven't practiced my Erica Kirk impression. So that's what you get. Big Money Bob giving away gifted Jake the Awake memberships. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So there's an example that we just watched of somebody spinning the narrative that the shooting was for sure real. And they have this supposed body language expert to ensure the normies that Trump's body language, Melania's body language, and the crowd's body language is all that of somebody who was definitely involved in a shooting. Now, we're going to take a look at an example of one of these left-wing shill channels spinning the notion that this was possibly staged, which was not something I was expecting that they would do. So that's what I wanted to cover in tonight's stream in detail, is that they got fools like Secular Talk, a left-winger, even asking questions about this and calling it a false flag. Check this out. So this fool right here, right, who's considered a left-winger, definitely a shill, right? Usually always pushes the mainstream narrative from a left-wing point of view. Secular Talk, over 2 million subs, got 559,000 views, 33,000 thumbs up, of course. And look at the title, False Flag. So he's using the term false flag and also says White House shooting absolutely makes no sense.
All right, y'all, welcome to the show. Hope everybody out there is having a great day. I have an awesome show lined up for you.
And look how he starts the show immediately within the first few seconds. Whips out the 666 hand sign. Same hand sign, Caroline Leavitt. Caroline Leavitt whipped out the same hand sign when she said that there will be shots fired in the room tonight.
It is a juicy show. It is a spicy show. You don't want to miss this one. So in just a second, we're going to talk about it. Was the White House Correspondents' Dinner attempted shooting a false flag? Everybody is talking about it on social media. Social media lit up with speculation about this. So we're going to dive into it, and I'm going to give you every single thing I've seen on it. So we'll talk about that in this.
So here they have a left-winger going to go over my talking points. I'm the guy who breaks down conspiracies. And now here they got a left-wing shill going to take my job? Huh. You know what they're going to do? They're going to purposely leave out the whole world stage aspect. This guy right here, what are the chances he's going to say that multiple actors are playing the role of Trump? What are the chances he's going to say that they have AI versions of Trump and that the government and the mainstream media are working in collusion together to dupe the public? No. He's not going to spin that narrative. You know what this guy's going to spin is that Trump and his administration staged it. Of course. So they got these shillbags taking over the conspiracy narrative, y'all.
Second, we also have the White House Correspondents' Dinner Shooter's Manifesto has been revealed. We'll dive into that as well. We have the media is somehow blaming Democrats for violent rhetoric in the Trump era. I wish I was kidding. I'm not kidding. We'll also get to that. We also have Trump crashing out at Norah O'Donnell because she read the shooter's manifesto to his face, and we get some all-time quotes.
So this guy throws up the 666 like for almost the majority of the first minute here. He lets you know clear as day what club he's in. And of course, it's the same hand sign thrown up by Caroline Leavitt just before the event went down when she claimed that there were going to be shots fired in the room.
Coming from the big guy. Like, this is, I'm telling you, this is going to go in the history books. The shit he said is going to go in the history books, and not in a good way, okay? So we'll dive into that as well. And then later on, Iran keeps humiliating Trump over and over, and he doesn't know what to do about it. And Russell Brand barbecues whatever the hell remained of his credibility. It wasn't much. I don't know the deal. The sub to Corin's World, the YouTube channel, because we do live. So, by the way, this was the first time Trump decided to go to it as president. Bizarre, weird, I know. But the first time he decides to go to this thing as president, there is an alleged attempted shooting.
So he's calling it an alleged attempted shooting. So the verbiage from a shill channel that's considered a left-wing shill, right? The verbiage he's using, alleged shooting. These guys always go with the mainstream narrative being true, right? They never break down any stage shootings. This guy's never broken down a stage shooting in his life, and here he is calling this an alleged shooting. You see how this works? So now you're getting the left-wingers who might be skeptical of this event to listen to guys like this as their official source for the conspiracy narrative. So now you got a left-wing shill being established as like a source to get your conspiratorial news now. The government-approved version.
Now, first, let me show you the initial video that went viral. What you're going to see here is this is at the beginning of the event. People are beginning to eat and stuff. Trump is, sitting at the front of the room, and you're going to hear some shots ring out, but it's like kind of distant. And then take note of how long it takes for people to react after hearing the shots. Watch this.
All right, so by having these gatekeepers control the conspiracy narrative as far as this shooting is concerned, what they're doing is they're preempting people from learning about the world stage from guys like me. So they're circumventing anybody from figuring out the world stage aspect, that these are all puppets on a world stage and that the government and the mainstream media are working together and these puppets are reading scripts, playing a role, and that this is always faked. So they're keeping people from learning about that by spinning this notion that Trump and his regime were the ones who staged this. So now people can just blame the character Trump without figuring out that he's a character. So there's no mention that Trump is a character on the world stage and that he has no real power. He has no real authority. Trump isn't the one who stages this. The government as a whole is the one who stages this. and they use the mainstream media in order to stage these events. So none of that gets discussed. So they can completely control the conspiracy narrative now with channels with millions of subs here on YouTube who are going to give you the government approved conspiracy theory. So they'll give you a partial nugget of truth that this possibly was staged, but they won't talk about the world stage and all of these people being puppets on the world stage. No, they won't go that far. They won't put all the pieces together.
32 seconds until you hear the shots and they grab Trump and pick him up to move him. 32 seconds. Now,
man, he was so close to saying 33 seconds. So close that I'm going to call that close enough. 32 is the new 33. Pretty close. If you're going to throw up triple sixes with both hands and then make sure to say the number 32, you may as well have just said the number 33. All right. Got some super chats that came in while I was rambling and showing my clips here. Got one from Kilowatt 21. He says, set the playback speed to 1.5. Watching from the future. Found out Jake is 14th scientist. I'm not sure what you're talking about with the 14th scientist, but yeah, when I watch my own replays, I set it to 1.25 speed. So yeah, when I watch my own replay, I'll see who said what in the live chat because I can't see what you guys are saying and talk to you guys while looking at the camera and run the stream at the same time. So basically, in order for me to go back and see who all was here and who said what and see how the stream turned out, I have to go back and watch the replay. And so in order to get through the replay as quickly as possible, but not miss anything, I put it at 1.25 speed. So that is my preferred speed to watch my own streams. I think I'm more entertaining when I'm slightly sped up. Kevin Arnold from the Wonder Years coming in with a very generous super chat. He says, retiring Friday after 45 years in the Matrix, coincidentally, the 250th anniversary of the Illuminati in the USA. Thanks for 10 years of making me LOL. Hey, buddy, congratulations. You know, everything's getting so damn expensive. A lot of people, you know, are going to be working their whole damn life, going to be a slave till the day they die. So if you're in the position where you can retire and not have to work, congratulations to you, sir. And I'm sure it came after many, many, many years of hard work. So, hey, if you are in the position where you don't have to work anymore, then you probably earned it. So congrats to you. And thank you for the very generous super chat. And I'm glad I could help along the way by making you LOL. Essentially, that's my job. That's like what I was put here to do, was make everybody who enjoys this content LOL, right? I want to make you LOL as much as possible, as many times as possible, so that you never forget how much fun you had LOLing with me. All right. RY says, RV breaks down the White House dinner event. What a lot of people didn't realize about this event was that Donald Trump had a bunch of photographers there, and they were taking pictures. They didn't seem to care about getting shot. And everybody was throwing up the 666 hand sign. This guy, Secular Talk, he's an Illuminati shill. That's why you see him throwing up the same 666 hand sign always. Right here. Absolutely ridiculous. This is how you know this guy is a shill and he works for the Illuminati. I, of course, don't show my face and I don't give my name. And I use Rowdy Roddy Piper's image as my own. But that's not sketchy at all. What's sketchy is that this guy's doing the 666 hand sign with both hands. Absolutely ridiculous. There you go. Yeah, see, this one was so easy that like anybody can point out the 666 hand signs that were being thrown around. Anybody can point to a number of red flags with the suspect being connected back to NASA, or the crowd not really reacting to any gunshots, and then the suspect not getting killed. Like if this was real, shouldn't they have turned the suspect into Swiss cheese? That's one of the biggest red flags, is that if it was real, if somebody was to try and bring a weapon to one of these events, don't you think that the Secret Service would, especially if the person turns their weapon on the security and gets into a gunfight with the security, chances are security, law enforcement, especially anyone protecting the president at one of those events, is going to immediately gun down somebody like this, right? Fill them with holes, right? So the fact that this guy wasn't filled with like 33 or more bullet holes, it's like they screwed their own story up. Like they should have said that the Secret Service killed him. Instead, they had the Secret Service somehow capture him. And one of the Secret Service members, or one of the law enforcement members, was shot in the bulletproof vest, and the suspect wasn't shot at all. So nobody got shot. So that's the part of the story that doesn't make sense at all. Like the suspect should have for sure been turned into Swiss cheese, right? Even in a scripted kayfabe version, it would be a lot more believable if the suspect would have been shot to death. Lint Away Duct Cleaning says, do you have a favorite world stage character for comedy? I think it's fun to make fun of Alex Jones, and Trump gives me a lot of different content to work with, make you guys laugh. And so between Trump and Alex Jones, those two guys have given me plenty of content over the years, and I'm confident that they're going to continue to give me content to keep working with. So when Trump's no longer president, we better hope that the next liberal who takes over is easy to make fun of, because this Trump character has been a gold mine for content for sure. But I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite. I just wait for the fake news to go down, and then I break down what I consider to be the juiciest, most entertaining stories for you guys. All right. RY says, Wanda Sykes talks about the White House event.
Y'all, I'm really starting to believe that this shooting that happened at the White House dinner might have possibly been staged. Y'all, they trying to villainize the black man, trying to make it look like some black liberal man is so mad at Trump, trying to kill Trump. Nobody want to kill Trump. Nobody care about your white cracker ass. We know your ass not going to be president for very much longer. Trump on his way out. Black folks know that Trump on his way out of office, and ain't nobody trying to kill him. That's why Trump trying to villainize the black man. He racist. Trump is racist to a black people. That's why they trying to spin this narrative that the black man with his afro trying to kill Trump. Nobody be trying to kill Trump.
There you go. Little Wanda Sykes for that ass. All right. So again, you got these left-wingers with millions of subs quasi-questioning the event, using terms like false flag, talking about how the shooting doesn't add up, doesn't make sense, but not talking about the world stage aspect whatsoever. Instead, they're making it out like it's just Trump and his regime who are staging this in order to vilify the left. And the media is just going along with it. Must be because they want to vilify the left, right? So that's the story you're going to get from guys like this. And then they have the right wingers like Jimmy Dore. Here, I'll show you what he's saying. So then they got guys on the right side also calling it out, but they're talking about how it's like a distraction from the Epstein files. They're still spinning government approved narratives. My bad. I thought I had this up on screen.
So, the White House Correspondents' Dinner, this is what happened.
Shots fired just outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner, spreading panic as President Trump, the First Lady, and top administration officials gathered with journalists for the annual event being held at the Washington Hilton Hotel. Secret Service agents stormed the stage to shield the president and vice president, while hundreds of guests took cover under tables.
They didn't exactly storm it. We'll get back to that in a second.
Inside the ballroom, surveillance video shows a suspect, 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen, attempt to run past a perimeter checkpoint before being stopped by law enforcement. Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche on Meet the Press this morning.
We believe that he was targeting administration officials in this attempted attack.
Officials say a Secret Service officer was shot at close range.
President Trump was safe. His Secret Service agents kept him safe.
It's clear to me that in his head, he probably realized he wasn't going to be able to get all the way into the secure.
I'm caught on hot mic talking about the security at the Correspondents' Dinner and how lax it was.
Oh, look at that. You guys. Jimmy Dore with the 666. Secular talk guy with the 666. Caroline Leavitt with the 666. You would think that one of these guys would figure it out if they're not in on it, right? If they're not part of the big club. You would think that they would learn not to make that hand sign if the bad guys are making that hand sign. If the ones who are staging it are making that hand sign, then why in the fudge are you going to make that hand sign? Unless you're also part of the big club. See? So the big club members make sure to flash their sign and let you know. That's how you know you're going to get the government-approved conspiracy narrative. So this is the right-wing government-approved conspiracy narrative where the event is questioned as possibly being staged. But he won't tell you about the world stage aspect. He won't tell you that Trump is just a puppet actor. He won't tell you that there's multiple people playing the role of Trump. He won't tell you that they use AI versions of Trump to dupe the public. Instead, the best you're going to get from this guy is that Trump is controlled by Israel. So they make it out like Trump is controlled by Israel and Trump was the one responsible for staging the event. So if you have a problem with it, if you're skeptical of it, you blame one guy, Trump. So they can keep you in the mindset that Trump is the one who started a war with Iran. Trump is the reason why gas prices are high. Trump is the one who's making these decisions and he's controlled by Israel. So they keep you thinking that Trump is an actual guy who has authority and power and who makes decisions, when that's not the case. Trump is a character on the world stage. So this is how they preempt you from learning about the deeper conspiracy by making it out like, oh, it's Trump and his regime who are staging this event and Trump is controlled by Israel. See? So now you never learn about the whole government working along with the whole mainstream media and staging not only this event, but all the events. Not only that, they had this guy, Jimmy Dore, conveniently start talking about the Butler event, the assassination attempt in Butler being staged like a couple days before this event. So they had this guy and a few other big YouTubers, big Young Turks and a few others conveniently start talking about the Butler assassination attempt and saying how it possibly was staged. And then the very next night, you have the White House dinner event, right? Now they're saying that that's possibly staged. So 2 years ago, Jimmy Dore wasn't breaking down the Butler event. I was. 2 years ago, Young Turks wasn't breaking down all the footage from the Butler assassination attempt. I was. Guys, 2 years ago, I broke down the Butler event because it happened 2 years ago, essentially. Almost 2 years ago. So back when it happened, I broke that down. So the fact you have this dude right here with his millions of subs who gets huge view counts starts talking about Butler being staged, and then the very next day, the White House shit goes down. This proves these guys are being given a script. So these big channels with the millions of subs, they're given a script to read. They're told to talk about Butler possibly being staged the day before this goes down, because they know the public might retroactively look into the Butler event. If the public figures out that the recent White House dinner was staged, they might retroactively look into the Butler event. And so, yeah, back when it happened, guys like me covered it. And I even had videos get removed showing the predictive programming back when it happened. So what's the deal with these huge channels with millions of subs almost 2 years later, now talking about the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt might have been staged, and then the very next day, the White House dinner shit happens. So this just goes to show you all these big YouTube channels are in on the payroll. They're getting a script to read. All right. And I'm sure I missed some super chats while I was on that big, huge rant. RY says, I wonder what Max Egan thinks. So right now, they're running psychological operations on the public. And it seems the public's fallen for it, hook, line, and sinker. I was recently hanging out with Jeff Berwick, and we were discussing this. I don't know if the public's going to wake up soon, but something needs to happen soon, or else we're all going to be screwed if we're not already. These psychological operations, mate, they're ruining the fabric of society. That's why next time I hang out with Jeff Berwick, we're going to have to discuss some way to overcome these odds. Perhaps we can band together and start a new cryptocurrency. I'm thinking me and Jeff might start a new shitcoin so that we can rug sweep all of your money and your donations. All right. Hey, Max Egan. A shitty Max Egan for you. I couldn't think of what Max Egan would say about this event off the top of my head for some reason. Love World Peace says, no, Wanda Sykes, not Black Miss Piggy. Well, that's how Wanda Sykes sounds to me, bro. Lintaway Air Ducts Cleaning says, no air ducts in all of the clips. AI. That's right. That's how you know it's AI. You don't see any air ducts. AI isn't smart enough to include the air ducts. So if you ever see a clip without an air duct included, that's how you know it's artificially made. Of course. Reality Witness says a small hat firm designed the new ballroom at the White House. So that's another government-approved conspiracy theory that Trump and his administration staged the event to get approval for a new ballroom, right? Which is bullshit because Trump is a character on the world stage and he's played by multiple different roles and they use AI Trumps. So why would the character of Trump give a shit about any ballroom, right? So again, these guys are spinning the government approved conspiracy narratives, because if you believe the mainstream narrative, they've got you where they want you. And then if you're skeptical of the mainstream narrative and you think it might be staged, then they got one of these assholes here to circumvent you from figuring out the real truth by giving you this ballroom approval story, and that it's Trump and his administration who are the ones responsible for staging it, right? Very sneaky what they're doing with this one, making it obvious that it was staged, and then even telling people that it was staged, but using shills to do it so they can establish these shills as some sort of credible source to get your conspiracy information from. Very sneaky, these assholes, and they're drowning out guys like me, because now I'm competing against all these huge channels who are saying it might be staged. So who's going to listen to a guy like me say it's staged if I'm some tiny channel amongst a sea of huge channels who are spinning the government approved conspiracy narrative? So what they've done was they've preempted people from finding my work. Assholes. Very sneaky what they've done with this one. Rex James says, Jake, have you ever covered the Vegas event back in 2017? Yes, I did. Yep, a long time ago. I covered that shit back when it happened. So yeah, when I did the breakdown of the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt, I went over every single piece of footage in detail, and I did a live stream for like 3 hours, just like I'm doing tonight. So I did that like 2 days after it happened. I found every piece of footage, showed every bit of it right here live, and me and you guys, the ones who are watching, and I'm sure some of you who were there that night remember, we went over every angle. And we, frame by frame, went over all the key moments where Trump was supposedly shot in his ear. I went through it frame by frame. We looked at the guy who was supposedly shot and the crowd reaction. Nobody talks about how the crowd continued sitting in that same spot where the guy was supposedly shot. Some people were just sitting there in his blood as if it didn't happen. But no, you won't hear any of that from these shills, right? So the fact that they were talking about the Butler event just before the White House dinner shooting, huge red flags and proof that they're on the payroll.
You want to hear what they said here?
I love that they have like 2 random chicks holding the front door open.
Like I think at like 18-minute mark, he talks about Epstein, which is a total typical shill talking point to try and tie this to Epstein.
Want to know what's happening? That's what's happening. It could be dual or triple purposes. It could be that. The thing is, they definitely wanted to get this ballroom built, and I'm sure it's being pushed. And it makes sense what he just said, that if it's being pushed by Israel, Trump's going to try to do everything he can to make it happen, because he's obviously compromised by Israel.
It's the ballroom. He wants to get the ballroom built because obviously Trump's compromised by Israel. See, to some people, that's the truth, and that's the conspiracy right there. Trump's controlled by Israel, and that's as far as they go. So that's what they got Jimmy Dore here for you, for the basic conspiracy narrative, to keep you controlled and in this mind space where it's Trump who's controlled by Israel, and he wants to get his ballroom built. And
now, whether he's in the Epstein files or his kids are in the Epstein files or his wife, they have him somehow they have him.
And it's because they have him tied to the Epstein files. See how it works, guys? So no mention of the world stage, no mention that there's multiple doppelganger Trumps and that this is a character, right? No mention of Trump not having any actual power. No, instead they say he's controlled by Israel. He's trying to get a ballroom built. Epstein files. See, guys? So they're using these fuckers like Jimmy Dore and secular talk to dominate the conspiracy narrative, completely prevent anyone from finding guys like me who do talk about the world stage. So I make a video breaking down the White House shooting. I get 6,000 views. This motherfucker with this video gets over 100,000 views. See what I'm saying? So he maybe didn't get a huge view count, but that's still a lot more than I got, right? So anybody who's like a right winger who is skeptical of this event and is skeptical of the way Trump's been acting, this is good enough to keep them contained. And so what this does is it keeps you in the it keeps you stuck in the mainstream narrative or the mainstream alternative, the government approved alternative. And either way, they keep you plugged into the matrix. So you can't escape the matrix by listening to these shills. And right now, the shills are the ones saying it might have been staged and calling it a false flag. Bastards trying to enter the space where I tell people about conspiracies and how the government works with the media in collusion and they lie to the public and dupe the public. Yeah, basically trying to drown out guys like me by spinning the watered down conspiracy narrative that Trump and his administration wanted a ballroom. Bullshit. Yeah, it sucks, you guys. It sucks to see these assholes spinning some of my talking points in with this ballroom bullshit and Epstein bullshit. All right. Almond Scented says, "You're right, Jake." LaFleur Network says, "I feel you, Jake." Truth Hurt says, "Lies within lies within lies within lies equals nothing." All right. You guys are catching what I'm laying down, it looks like. I didn't get a chance to see what everyone was saying in the chat because I was busy rambling and trying to make a point. But yeah, guys, this is not like the other events. Normally, they stage the event and then all the shill channels go with the mainstream narrative that it was real. And so this time, for them to insinuate that it might be staged or certain events or certain portions of this event aren't adding up, not making sense, they never usually do that. So the fact that they're doing it with this shooting particular, it's almost like they want the general public who are skeptical to follow these shill channels. So they're trying to establish them as like a source to get your conspiracy news from, right? Like, oh, I can trust Jimmy Dore because he knows that Trump is controlled by Israel. So I can get my conspiracy news from Jimmy because he tells the truth that Trump's controlled by Israel. See? They spin that shit. All right, let me give you guys another example of this. Because I see a shitload of channels talking about this who wouldn't normally break down any shootings at all. Oh, yeah, the secular talk guy. Oh, this one's the best. The secular talk guy called out Alex Jones. I never in a million years would thought I would see the day where the left-wing secular talk guy is going to call out Alex Jones for claiming that the White House dinner was real. Alex Jones is saying that the White House dinner shooting was real. And if that isn't bad enough, Secular Talk is questioning the shooting, calling it a false flag. And he's the one who's going to call out Alex Jones? What? No, say it ain't so.
So Alex Jones, or as many are calling him, the most washed man of all time, continues in his decline into complete and utter irrelevancy. He came out after the alleged attempted White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting, and he said the following. Ready?
Everybody's asking me whether or not I think the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night in D.C. was staged. The long and short of it is no.
So the man who said the following. Ready?
Everybody's asking me whether or not.
Let me slow it back down to regular speed so we don't miss this. This is important information. The Alex Jones character is officially saying it's not staged. Everybody pay attention.
I think the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night in D.C. was staged. The long and short of it is no.
So, Alex Jones' character, who's supposed to be the controlled opposition conspiracy theorist, is saying he thinks it's real. And then they have left-winger secular talk cocksucker. He's going to question Alex Jones here? He's going to be the one who gets to call him out and question the White House dinner shooting and call it a false flag? Whoa, time out. Whoa, I see what's going on here. Holy shit, they're nuking the Alex Jones character. They don't want conspiracy theorists going to this one Alex Jones character to get their conspiracy news anymore because nobody trusts him. So they're throwing the Alex Jones character under the bus, fucking nuking the Alex Jones character. He has no more credibility at all. And now they're having a shitload of big YouTubers take the place of Alex Jones, essentially. So now instead of an Alex Jones giving you your controlled conspiracy theory news, now you get all these big, huge YouTubers on the left and the right giving you your controlled conspiracy theory news while they throw the Alex Jones character under the bus. Holy shit.
So the man who every single mass shooting that's happened in this country for decades, everyone, false flag, Obama's trying to take your guns even though he never took your guns, false flag, it's all false flag, it's all fake, it's all the Bilderbergs, it's all the Illuminati, they're all working together, they're all trying to,
So now they got this cocksucker doing his impression of Alex Jones. It's almost like they're trying to personally keep people from finding my work and make sure that they find this guy who's essentially talking about some shit I would normally be talking about. I would normally be pointing at Alex Jones, claiming this is real and busting his balls. But now they got the fucking lefty shill doing my job? What the flying fuck, you guys? Seriously. Holy shit. They have the leftard gonna do my job and do a terrible, shitty Alex Jones impression. Folks, this goddamn leftard son of a bitch thinks he's gonna do my job. This goddamn cocksucking motherfucker thinks he's gonna come in and do a better impression of Alex Jones than me. Folks, I don't know about you, but right now, I think I'm feeling a little queasy. Feeling a little sick to my fucking stomach. Right now, I'm so enraged and sick, I might just projectile vomit all over my goddamn computer screen, folks. Can't believe what I'm hearing. Can't believe what I'm saying. Think you're going to take my job? Let me tell you something. You're going to have to wake up pretty early in the morning if you think you're going to do anywhere near as good of an impression of Alex Jones as me. And let me tell you what, cocksucker, you and I both know you will not be telling people anything about the world stage. You're going to lead people down the wrong rabbit hole. The rabbit hole filled with lies. Bullshit, folks. You're going to be going down a rabbit hole filled with nothing but bullshit and Democrat liberal diarrhea. If you folks want the truth about what's really going on, you're going to need to listen to yours truly.
Dimensional demons are trying to grab a hold of your mind and change your mind and make you accept to live in hobbit homes like Agenda 21 and Everything's fake. Everything is a conspiracy, except when there's actual evidence of a conspiracy. And then it's, no, this one's actually real. Why? Because Trump's involved, and I still suck Trump off, even though Trump hates me and threw me under the bus.
Yeah, too many of the DC police, Secret Service, all of them involved. The very small percentage of those guys are corrupt. Something like that, right out in the open. A registered Democrat, Trump derangement syndrome, 30-year-old teacher. Everybody keeps saying that, how do you get through security? He didn't. He waited until the event was going. Then he charged the metal detectors, barely got through it, and they shot it twice.
Okay, so Alex Jones verbatim giving the mainstream narrative that it's a liberal with Trump derangement syndrome, making excuses for how he got past the security. Wow. Never thought I'd see the day where Trump gives the literal mainstream narrative, isn't giving the controlled opposition narrative at all. And then you have secular talk cocksucker going to call him out for it. What is even going on? All right, LaFleur Network says 450 plus in the chat. Smash the like button for the #1 truther source right here on YouTube with Jake the Awake. Subscribe, hit the bell notifications, and let's push for 100,000. Well, check it out. I'm losing subs by covering this. I lost subs when I put up the White House video. And last or 2 years ago, when I said that the Butler assassination attempt was staged and made a whole stream about it, I lost hundreds of subs. I lost like over 300 subs in a couple days 2 years ago by saying that the Butler assassination attempt wasn't real. So guys, I don't know if it's just YouTube punishing me by unsubbing people, or whether it's like football fans who are Trump voters and MAGA-tards who don't like me pointing out that that Trump's in on the fakery. I'm not sure what it is, but I lose subs by doing this. And so right now my subscriber count is not growing, and it doesn't grow unless it's football season. So it might take me years to get to 100,000. So we might get there eventually, but it might literally take years, because when it's not football season, they do not let my subscriber count grow. And so what I'm doing right now, you think I'd be picking up new subs, waking up new people? No, the opposite. Losing subs. Meanwhile, these fucking mainstream shill channels are questioning the White House shooting and getting gigantic view counts, right? It's bullshit. So yeah, you guys who are here tonight, we are the real resistance. This is the real group of free thinkers still doing the real free thinking. This is the real, legitimate, uncontrolled, uncensored YouTube channel. This is it. So if you guys are enjoying this, hook a brother up with a thumbs up. Show your appreciation in the form of thumbs up. And I appreciate everyone who's here supporting live tonight. And everyone who watches the replay, thank you to all you folks too. And thank you, Davey D, for the super chat, buddy, and your constant support and positivity of the channel. I appreciate that. Doxological Thinker said, it's like when they're playing out the world stage version of Clue. It was President Orange with the whisk in the ballroom. Oh, yeah. It's like a WWE New Age version of Clue, right? Yes. I believe it was President Orange Jab Daddy trying to get approval for the ballroom with the liberal assassin with the revolver in the hall. Yes, exactly. I'm Riggs says, you've been streaming more frequently. Just want to say thank you. We lucky. So I try and keep up with every Wednesday. I've been trying to do every Wednesday and have my set day. And it's challenging to keep up with a weekly stream, but I've been doing it for several months now. And then I also try and do Saturdays, at least like every other Saturday. So I can't commit to every single Saturday, because some weeks there's just not enough news that is worth covering, or nothing trending in the news that I feel like covering, or I'm just burnt out. So I try and do every Wednesday and then every other Saturday or so. So yeah, either 2 streams a week or at least once a week, I try and do this. And that's like a good amount to where it's not too much to where I get burnt out, because I don't want to burn you guys out. Like if I try and do this every single night, I feel like I would burn myself out and burn you guys out. So I try and keep it fresh by not overdoing it, All right.
They didn't shoot him, so you're wrong about that too.
Gun, he shot one of the Secret Service, but the body armor stopped the buckshot. That's just the facts. That doesn't mean we don't have cover-ups of Epstein and cover-ups of a second shooter in Butler, Pennsylvania.
See, now he's trying to soften it. There's a lot of other conspiracies, and I know I'm the conspiracy guy. So yeah, all the other conspiracies are actual conspiracies, but this one is not, because this one actually is one where the leftists and the liberals are right about it. So therefore, this one actually doesn't count. But all the other ones that are for right-wingers, those ones are real.
Wow. Ouch. Ouch. You guys, I mean, at this point, there's no credibility left whatsoever in the Alex Jones character, that I don't understand how he has any influence anymore. After that, after what he just said, that this isn't staged, I mean, the only people who would be watching him now would be like the most hardcore brainwashed MAGAs, right? So the most hardcore MAGAs have to stick by Trump's side, and perhaps they're the ones who are maybe still listening to Alex Jones. But outside of the most diehard Quanon following MAGAs, I can't imagine anyone still listening to Alex Jones. I mean, right here, he's getting destroyed by the secular talk guy, right? He just said that he thinks that the White House dinner was not staged, and then just gave excuses for how the assassins got by security. Like, that's bad, man. I mean, there's no making any excuses for him at this point. So the Trump character, or excuse me, the Alex Jones character officially nuked. Meanwhile, they're making the secular talk guy, they're making him out like he's a free thinker, seeing through the lies and the bullshit. Oh, sickening. So like I said, they're making this operation as obvious as possible for the public, because they want the public to follow these mainstream shills, and they want them to follow the mainstream government-approved conspiracy narrative, so that you stay as far away from the truth about the world stage and the government working with the media all the time, faking everything. So they can just blame Trump, like, oh, this is Trump faking it so he can get the ballroom, right? It's Trump's regime faking it so they can demonize the left. Trump and his team are faking this so they can gain favoritism from the MAGAs, keep the MAGAs worshiping Trump as much as possible, keep them thinking that the left's trying to kill him. So they can come up with all these supposed reasons why Trump would have staged this. So they keep people from putting 2 and 2 together, that everything's always staged all the time, not just this event. And it isn't staged by Trump. Lint Away Duck Cleaning says, you'll never burn us out. Start a 24-hour or 24/7 Jake the Awake stream. So I've seen people do that with a stream running 24/7, and I could have like my greatest hits, or like 10 different streams running 24 hours a day. But then people just show up, say a few things, and then they split. And then once people realize it's not an actual live stream and it's just a replay, then the enthusiasm and the the live chat just breaks down. You know what I mean? Like, people realize it's a replay. So there's maybe only, 10 people watching at once. You know what I mean? So the enthusiasm for the live streams might take a hit if I have a 24-hour live stream going. I want when people see that I'm live streaming for there to be more reason for you to click. So if you see that I'm always live because I'm running a 24-hour live stream with my old streams running always, then it's like it makes my streams when I'm actually live seem less special. I don't know. I've seen other channels do it, and I'm not so sure it's a good thing or a bad thing. So it has its ups and its downs. So I'm not completely against it, but I'm not sure if that's the right move. Like, I don't want people to get burned out, by showing up to the 24-hour stream and there's only 10, 15 people watching and people are like, hello, what's going on? Is Jake here? And I'm not there. It's just a replay. Like, if I'm not there, not reading your super chats and there's not a full live crowd, then it's not the same, right? So in order to keep this energy special, I don't want to diminish it with a 24-hour live stream, if that makes sense. All right. So let me show you another example of why these mainstream YouTube channels, these big name right wingers and left wingers like Jimmy Dore, for instance, for sure are shills. So here we got Butler assassination attempt was faked and Trump was in on it with Professor Jang. And they did this 5 days ago. One day before the White House dinner shooting. So guys, what are the chances Jimmy Dore and Professor Jing Jong just decide to come out and say that the Butler shooting was staged and fake 1 day before the White House dinner? That happened like almost 2 years ago. And they just now decide to talk about it 1 day before the White House dinner? Come on, you guys, what are the odds that this guy, Jimmy Dore, and Professor Jing Jong get together, do this video talking about how the Butler assassination attempt was faked, and then the very next day, the White House dinner? Why didn't they talk about this 2 years ago when it happened? I talked about it 2 years ago when it happened, and then I moved on because it happened like 2 years ago. So I don't just randomly bring up the Butler shit and do a whole video on that just randomly now because it already happened years ago. So why would these guys do this video randomly? They come to this conclusion almost 2 years after it happens, and then the very next day is the White House dinner shit. See?
Look at things, the more I'm convinced that Donald Trump's assassination attempts were faked and they were inside jobs, especially Butler, Pennsylvania. And the key piece of evidence is that Donald Trump is not interested in who actually tried to do that, the conspiracy behind it. It's just a lone nut who was able to somehow get through all there. Why aren't they watching the roofs? Nobody's watching the roof of Butler, Pennsylvania, even though the crowd saw him. Same thing with Charlie Kirk. There's a roof. There's a guy on the roof for at least a couple of minutes with a rifle, and nobody in the security saw him. It's impossible, right? So this. Do you I know, so I am convinced that Donald.
Check this out. Without having to watch this long, boring video, I'm just going to drag the cursor. At any point, if they start showing a video of the Butler event and breaking it down, then we'll check it out. But right now, I'm dragging the cursor, and all I see are two guys running their mouth. They're not showing the old videos of the Butler event. They're not really breaking it down. There's no breaking down or analysis of the footage of the Butler event in this video. I just drug the cursor all the way through. So without having to sit here and watch the whole thing, I already know they aren't going to break down any of the Butler footage. I broke down personally every piece of the Butler footage from when it happened thoroughly in front of you guys. And in some cases, like right when Trump supposedly got shot, we went frame by frame and covered that shit. Back when it happened. Meanwhile, these guys are just now going to talk about it, but not going to show any examples. Look at the title. The title is pretty blunt, like Butler assassination attempt was faked. Whoa. That's a major claim to make. Why isn't he breaking out the hardcore evidence? Instead, it's just him and Professor Jing Jong talking the whole time. Right? So it used to be you make a claim like that, you could get your channel taken down, your video taken down, but now they got the big channels making those claims, right? One day before the White House dinner, Jing Jong and Jimmy Dore going to bring that up. Oh, what are the odds? All right, so check it out. I'll show you guys proof. I covered this back when it happened, July 15th, 2024. So nearly 2 years ago. Went over every single bit of it for nearly 3 hours, right? We sat here and watched every piece of footage while I analyzed it along with you guys. Some of it, like I said, frame by frame. We took a look at all these different angles. Right? This guy who supposedly got shot. We looked at that angle. We looked at the crowd's reaction. The crowd continued to sit around in the same section where the guy supposedly got shot. Nobody dispersed. We went over all this. I don't remember Jimmy Dore going over this, right? So this is just proof that I covered these events back when it happened. Went over the actors involved and the stuff that they were saying. So this is the scripted bang bang attempt comedy show. And I had to call it scripted bang bang of attempt because they took down 2 of my videos showing predictive programming as pertains to this event. So I made 2 videos and did this stream, and they whacked both my videos in the same day, took down both my videos just as they were gaining traction, because it showed examples of predictive programming that it was going to happen beforehand. And then I did this stream right here. I called it the Bang Bang Comedy Show to try and make sure that my stream wouldn't get taken down. So luckily, it didn't get taken down. We had a gigantic crowd. I had over 1,000 people watching live that night. Over 1,000. So, guys, I was there covering it, right? I did the actual coverage of the event, went over all the different angles and all that stuff. So to see Jimmy Dore and Professor Jing Jong a day before the White House dinner shooting are going to bring that shit up and talk about it, but not show any of the actual proof like I showed. They're 100% trying to circumvent people from learning about the real truth, that all these events are staged and that the government and the mainstream media work in collusion together to stage these events. And it's not just the Butler event and the White House dinner event. It's all them shootings, all the major shootings, right? So they're trying to gatekeep this information. Like Trump and his administration just wanted to get a new ballroom. Trump and his administration just wanted to demonize the left. So therefore, you just blame Trump. You blame the one guy. They want you to think Trump is acting of his own accord. Trump's the one making these decisions. If you have anything negative to say, if you're skeptical at all, just blame Trump. Just blame the character. Blame the figurehead. LaFleur Network says commit to a week for a few hours. I thought about doing like a everyday stream for like a week, but I can't do a stream every night. And trying to keep coming up with stuff to talk about and have enough stuff to talk about to fill a stream. It takes work to be able to do this beforehand. Like I have to do work finding these clips, figuring out if it's interesting enough to talk about, coming up with what I want to say in my head, and then figuring out like what order I want to show this and how I want to go about explaining this to you guys. So there's a whole lot of prep work that goes into these streams. And so it's a job, right? And it eats up an entire day. So whenever I do my streams on Wednesday, it eats up my entire day because I got to get ready for the stream, have everything set up and ready to go. And then the stream lasts for like 3 hours. And then when it ends, I'm usually hungry and my dog wants to go out. So then once I eat, take my dog out, get back, then I'll watch the replay, and then the day's gone. So it dominates an entire day to do one of these streams and do the prep work for one of these streams. So it's like a full-time job, right? And so to try and like do this every day is tough. And so I thought about doing it every day for like a week, do like a Jake the Awake world tour where I, like every day for a week I stream like all day long so that everybody across the world can get a chance to see me live. But then I have to have content to fill all that. And that's the trouble. That's where I'm like, oh my God, how would I fill that much time? I have to wait for these events to go down so that I could get the clips ready and figure out what I'm going to say. And it takes hours and hours to get all this information set up so that I could explain it to you guys. And so to try and do a stream every day would be super tough because I am just one guy and I don't have a team helping me. So if I had like a team bringing me shit to talk about, like here, Jake, here's a bunch of notes and here's a bunch of video clips for you to break down, right? It'd be a lot easier, but I'm the guy who has to do all of it. And I always have to cook and make meals for myself and my dog and also keep up on, keeping this office organized and clean. So it's a hell of a job. So you guys got to remember these shill channels, they're given a script to read, right? They're told what to talk about. I have to fucking figure it out myself and come up with the motivation myself to do this. It is not easy. That's why there's so few guys like me doing this, because to do this for real is hard as hell, right? Might seem easy to ramble while you're live streaming, but to like make the videos and the thumbnails and do all the promotion and do all the prep work, consume all the fake news, all the fake football games, all that shit. Oh my God. And it never ends. Just after I finish this, I can take a few breaths and then, oh shit, now I got to make the next video. And then, it's Wednesday again. I got to do the next stream. Saturday. I need to do the next stream. So it never ends, man. It's just constant. That's another thing that makes it hard to do this job over and over and over and over. It's like the pressure to keep doing it, to keep delivering, right? So one of the hardest things to do is to have a band and keep year after year, just keep showing up and keep playing This is hard too, to keep doing what I'm doing year after year, week in, week out, keep showing up, keep bringing it. It might seem like it's not that hard, but it is. Because whenever you have a good show, and everyone's happy, they're like, "Oh, great stream, Jake." Then it's like, "Oh shit, now the next one, the pressure's on for me to keep this up, keep delivering week after week after week after week, right?" And I don't have anyone to help me, no sidekick, no assistant, it's just me all the time, right? So there's times where I'm like, "Shit, I'm going crazy, stuck in this office all the time, being forced to consume fake news, forced to consume the fake football. Otherwise, I won't have a job. And I'm the one who signed myself up for this. Oh no. And I have to keep doing this forever. And there's going to be a point where I won't be able to do this anymore. And then what the fuck am I going to do then? Right? So yeah, totally. You try and do this job by yourself like I've been doing, it will absolutely drive you insane. That's why you see very few guys like myself doing this. All right. Kevin Arnold said, "You need more puppies and kittens. Works every time." Oh, dude. Just taking responsibility for Ralph. I ask myself, like, oh, why in the fuck did I do this? Why did I get a dog? My last dog passed away and I was free and clear, no responsibility, no kids, no pets. I could do whatever I wanted. And I went and got myself another freaking dog. Now every day I got to walk his ass, but you know what? He's adorable and I love him, but man, every day I got to do the dog walk thing every day, right? Can't just let him out in the backyard. There ain't no backyard. So that means like 4 times a day I got to do the dog walk thing. And I'm a good dog owner, so I take my dog to parks like every day. So like there's this chunk of my day every single day that's just dedicated to walking dog and doing dog stuff. But that's what I signed up for. And then there's a chunk of every day that's dedicated to like making meals for myself and my dog. And then there's a chunk of the day dedicated to cleaning dishes after making the meals. And then there's a chunk of the day just dedicated to watching crap here on YouTube to stay up on what's going on so that I don't miss anything, right? And then before I know it, the day's like, whew, it's gone. So, dudes, there's days where like I'm not even planning on taking a day off, but whew, it just turns into a day off because the day just shoots by. Walk the dog, make some food, clean up my dishes, and holy shit, now it's late in the afternoon and the day's over. It's like time's just speeding by just so fast. So this job and being my own boss, it's conducive to the time just shooting by so fast. And being as I'm my own boss, I know I'm not going to punish myself if I don't work extra hard all the time. So I allow myself to be a slacker and a stoner. And I don't punish myself for not working as hard as possible, which leads to me not getting as much shit done as I should. So this job definitely has its ups and its downs, man, for sure. This lifestyle, doing this type of work, whew, man. And I know there's people out there that would trade spots with me in a second, so I can't complain too much. Trout fishing at Hood Park, who I haven't seen here in a while, says, layup super chat. Appreciate the time and effort you put into this. Thank you, sir, from the bottom of my heart. And you also have sent me many a generous donation, not only here, but through PayPal as well and through the mail. So you have donated to this channel many times. And sir, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. You have helped keep me afloat, help keep this shindig operating here. So you guys, everybody, give it up to Trout Fishing at Hood Park. He has donated a lot to the channel. And he's hooking me up with a layup super chat here. He's not trying to make me do 4 different impressions while floating in space. Trout fishing at Hood Park, brother. Double fist bumps to you. I really, really appreciate it, sir. Not all YouTubers really appreciate their audience, but I genuinely do. I wouldn't be here doing this without you guys, and I'm glad you're here, still enjoying what we do here, because this is one of the last examples of this on the internet, right? There isn't really many channels like this, if at all. Big Money Bob gifting Jake the Awake memberships. Big Money Bob is essentially one of the reasons why I have members at this point. So if you get a gifted membership from Big Money Bob, give him your gratitude. Make sure to thank him if you are one of the lucky ones who receive a gifted membership. All right. With that said, let me go ahead and throw on a quick music video while I take a quick bathroom break. I'm thinking we'll go back in time many moons ago, and we'll watch one of my slap bass performances from way back in the day. One of my better ones. Out of all my live performances playing bass solo, this is one of the better ones. So enjoy this for a few minutes. I got to go pee real quick, and I'll be right back.
I was born in death, was trick, but I've been known to lie. I've been up for all of my life, shit that I can't deny. You go to school, get your education, have yourself some fun. But you got to find yourself. So you find someone, you better give it up. Oh, now, Rascal's funky. Sing like that guy. Rascal's funky. Come on, it's easy. Rascal's funky. Let's go on the way. It's the grand old respect most of my day. Children and relaxing all come. Some people at Sabbath school. Couple of guys say was up to no good. So I make a trouble in the neighborhood. One little fight, my mom got scared. You know what your ass hit? Look down there. I was a boy grabbing when I came near. Let's put the first shot of dice in the mirror. I think I can see those scabs well. Never get it down here. Back to the house, 708. Down to my cabby home, smell it early. The thing I'm fine there. So you don't mess up with your bag of time. West Coast funky. West Coast funky. Yeah, West Coast funky. Oh, yeah. I'm talking about Charleston. Let's look at this. Are you ready? Hey, got you ready for this? Like I ain't sitting on the edge of your seat. Out of the doorway, the bullets are ready. To the sound of the beat, I'll bring it. No one matches the state. No one matches the state. No one's gone, and another one's gone, and another one matches the sugar. Let's go stonking. So let's go stonking. Let's go stonking.
All right. There we go. Little old school slap bass action for you. Back when I used to play bass at the open mics. That was before I even started this channel. Yeah. Oh, how time flies. All right. So I was thinking that I haven't had a chance to just talk to you guys and just chit chat with my chat. You know, I sometimes get carried away talking about these subjects, and I talk and I talk, and I don't get much chance to talk to you guys. And the only chats that I have a chance to read are the super chats because they're paying. And so I thought maybe this second hour of the stream, or excuse me, third hour of the stream, that we could just talk a little bit and you guys could ask me questions and say what you think about what's going on, make your statements, and I'll just try and pull up lots of different comments. So how about some open chat, right? I feel like I haven't had a chance to really talk to you guys that much lately. I've been busy spouting off about all this staged news that haven't had a chance to chat with my peeps. So, peeps, what's going on? What do you guys think about all this shit? What's up with all this? Like, psh, this is a crazy life, huh? This whole being alive thing. Pretty strange, isn't it? Kelly Yamaguchi says, hey, Jake, sing I Go Hungry for my grandparents being hit by Script 7.0 quake in Misawa, Japan. Had to time out from internet for them, but now I'm back. Hi, Jake, sing I Go Hungry for my... I thought that was the name of a song. I Go Hungry for my grandparents being hit by Script. Hi, Jake, sing I Go Hungry. I think you want me to sing the Temple of the Dog song, right? Hunger Strike. Well, I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence. I'm gone hungry, gone hungry. I'm gone hungry, gone hungry. But it's on the table, the fire's cooking, in the form of babies, the slaves are walking. Blood is on the table, the mouths are choking. I'm going hungry, I'm going hungry, yeah. There you go. Little going hungry for you. Going out to Kelly Yamaguchi. So yeah, guys, seeing the mainstream shills on this platform start using some of my talking points, definitely not good. Not a good thing. Seeing the secular talk guy be the one that calls out Alex Jones when that's my job. Not good. And trout fishing at Hood Park, he hooked up 10 Jake the Awake memberships, as well as Each Thy Yonder gifting 10 memberships as well. Wow. Holy cow. A whole lot of gifted memberships going on right about now. Trout fishing, Itchy Yonder. And then trout fishing looks like he gifted another 10 memberships. So I guess that means I better crank out some members only content for all you members, right? Give you guys something special to watch. All right, the pressure's on. Now I got to crank out some members only content. Holy cow, you guys are awesome. You guys show way too much support. You blow me away. This is an incredible experience to be able to do this for you guys. Ice Cold Fisherman says, I'm noticing shills are copying Jake, but twisting Jake's truth with left or right political dynamic. Yeah. And these are the ones who are given scripts. That's the scary thing. So they've let me stick around and do what I've done all these years. And I'm pretty sure it's because I have genuine support. And you guys send super chats and have memberships. And so the channel is profitable. And so I'm sure behind the scenes, you know, selling the ad space on my channel, they've made a killing, right? And so being my channel's profitable and I give my name and I show my face, they've let me stick around and do this while they study this group here, what we do and what we say. Not just me, but you guys too, because you're speaking your mind in the comments. So when I start seeing my talking points come out of the right-wing shills and left-wing shills, and then they leave out the world stage part, I'm like, oh shit. They are literally trying to circumvent people from finding my work and dominating this space and making it more of a consumer-friendly space for the sheeple. Like, oh, you don't believe in the mainstream narrative? Here's your government-approved alternative conspiracy narrative served up by YouTube shills, right? And then me, they just suppress my work to only my subscribers. So I noticed my video only got showed to my subscribers and only to a fraction of my subscribers. So they only notify a fraction of my subs and they don't show any new people the video that I put out, right? But then they pump out those shills videos to hundreds of thousands of people, right? They pump them across my screen and I don't even watch their ass, right? They were like, here, Jake, we think that you would like to watch this. And they stuck that on my screen. And I'm like, I don't want to watch it. But in order for me to make fun of these assholes and explain all this to my audience, I'm going to have to watch at least a little bit. So I have to reluctantly watch cocksuckers who I would never watch in order to explain this to you guys and run this channel. It's kind of weird. Anyway. Got a super sticker from Get Fucked. Thank you, Get Fucked 24/7 for the super sticker love. All right. Holden says, please do Benson. Oh. And Bob the Doll, link below. Holden. Benson. For crying out loud. All right. Holden's got a link for us, you guys. Hold on. Got to give me a second to pull it up. Oh, shit. All right. Post it again, Holden. I can't find it. I lost it all of a sudden. I thought I knew where it was, and then I lost it. Post it again in the chat, Holden. Oh, the joys of trying to run a whole show by myself. Jeez. Anyone else who tries to run a show like this by themselves just goes crazy at some point. Okay. So I finally got the link. Here it is.
Out and say something, Cretin, or I'm leaving. Okay, all right. It stays Chuck and Bob. Chuck and Bob. You happy now, Cretin, huh? Well, let's get over to the damn bar. I'm going to need a drink to get through this evening. Excuse me, Granddad. Scotch and soda neat. Hey, Sandal, the noon whistle did not blow. I said Scotch.
One more word and he goes into the fireplace.
All right, Holden. I'm going to try and do this impression for you so that you laugh and you think this funny. Hi, I'm a puppet, and this is what a puppet sounds like. And I'm going to go over here and bother Benson, who clearly doesn't give a flying fuck about puppets, but we want to get a reaction out of this guy because he's black and smug. Hey, Benson, how about you quit running your yap right now before I throw your puppet ass in the fire? That's right. I'm Benson. This how Benson sound. I'm going to throw your puppet ass, motherfucking puppet, white honky cracker ass in the fire if you keep running your goddamn mouth, boy. There you go. That's what you wanted, right, Holden?
I'll get it, Benson.
Dennis Phillips.
Yep, that's what Holden wanted. There you go. That one goes out to Holden. And it looks like he enjoyed it. All right. Got like 850 laughing emojis from Holden. There you go, y'all. I'm the king. King of impressions. Except for the ones that I suck at. The impressions that I'm not good at doing, yeah. You just have to disregard those and only count the ones that I'm good at. JP Crucino says, hello, Sir Jake. I've noticed they promote people's message who has an inversion, like YouTube guys preaching to go to work, but don't really swing hammers. See, my algorithm likes to promote depressing stuff, you know, like since I watched Jack Morgan a few times, then they just keep showing me all these different YouTubers who react to TikToks. And then it messes with my head because I see that they get gigantic view counts. So I get shown, if I just go to YouTube homepage, they'll show me these channels that are reacting to TikToks. And the TikToks are like people who are having trouble finding a job, or, you know, or are complaining in their car about how much shit costs, complaining about how much gas is or how much groceries are or whatever. And then the person reacts to it. And so it's like, now my algorithm's just filled with just like depressing doom and gloom crap because I watched a damn Jack Morgan video. It sucks. I'm going to have to go through and try and reset the algorithm somehow. So I guess it all depends on what videos you've recently clicked on, what they show you. Thank you, JP Crucino, for the super chat donation, sir. Kelly Yamaguchi says, is the high power people are causing these quakes? You know, they probably have technology to create earthquakes. I mean, they're probably able to shake the ground if they really want to, right? So I would guess yes, but I can't say in your circumstance the quake that you're feeling is caused by the government or whoever. It might be a natural earthquake. But, you know, I'm not an expert in that field, and I don't pretend to be, but I would reckon that the technology definitely exists, that the higher ups, whoever's in charge, whoever has that capability to shake the ground in large areas, that they do that when they want to on occasion. That was a weird way to answer that question, wasn't it? But I still effectively answered it. Stop, Ralph. Stop. I can't play right now. I'm working, Ralph. All right. Art Hawk says, let's get a new song by Richie from Boston singing to Trump. Wish you would step off that pedo island, my friend. My Bible vape juice will make you understand. Oh, boy. I wish you would step off that pedo island, my friend, because my Bible vape juice will make you understand. But at any rate, I digress, because this Bible vape juice is better than the rest. Please like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm out. There you go. Making up a song off the top of my head in the style of Richie from Boston, and including his lyrics. And then I added some of my own on top. That one going out to Art Hawk. Art Hawk with his triple threes. JP Crucino says, hello, sir. Oh, wait, I think I read that one. Yeah, I totally read that one. Okay. So I've been thinking, what if I got like some sort of call-in number and then I took phone calls and then people like you guys could call in without having to show your face? Is that something you guys would want to do? There's other channels that do a call-in, and so it could be something that we just do for like an hour, maybe every other week. And if everyone loves it, we could do it, more, but I wouldn't have it dominate the whole show because I still want to do what I do normally. I wouldn't want calls to like take over, but I thought there could be like a segment each week or every other week where we could do call-ins. What do you guys think? Rose says yes. Cactus Jack with the thumbs up. Jay Cruisin says, yeah, that would be hilarious. Now, I already know that if I have a number for people to call during the stream, that there's going to be some riffraff and some shill activity that's going to end up going down, right? Where they're going to want to call and frazzle me by, spouting the N-word or something that can get my stream, taken down or demonetized or whatever. So I already know that there's going to be some possible issues that might arise if I do get like an 800 number of my own, 1-800 call Jake or whatever. Ralph sees himself. He was looking at himself on the TV screen. That's you, Ralph. That's you. Yeah. That's Ralphie. Oh. Suzette says, Ralphie says that he's ready for his walk. He is. He's got his front paws standing on my leg. So like all of his weight is on my leg right now, which is not comfortable. He looks cute and it looks good on screen. So I'm letting it slide, but he's got his front paws on my leg with all his weight and it's not comfy. Oh, get back. Get back. Get back. I have a chair set up for him right next to me, and he's trying to like come over into my lap. Yep. See, there he goes. Gonna come all the way over into my lap. Yep. All right. Gotta try and run the show with the dog in my lap now. Ralph, making things more difficult. Trout fishing at Hood Park said, Ralph's got to go potty chair. Let me tell you something, people. There is no such thing as a Ralphie. It's an animatronic robo dog. Let me tell you something, people. I've seen many dogs in my life. There's no dog that is as cute as Ralphie. Only thing that could look like that would be some sort of artificial animatronic robot dog. That's what it is, people. It's a dumb shit to fool the masses. He's trying to get you to think the dog cute so that you send donation. People, you need to wake your ass up. It's not a real Ralphie. It's an animatronic robo dog. All right, we'll go in just a minute. We'll go in a minute. We'll go. Hold on. Yeah, he wants to go out, but he always wants to go out. and he gets to go out 4 times a day. Like, what dog do you know gets to go on 4 walks a day? Oh, and he gets to eat chicken and rice and pork and beef, chew on real bones. He's spoiled, damn it. Stop! Wait. We'll go out soon. He knows we're talking about him, so now he's totally milking it. Yes, we're talking about you. He's clawing at me because he knows we're talking about him. Right now, there's an ever-existential crisis going on because I actually got arrested for some sexual allegations, which I'm not going to go into right now because I'm too busy floating around in space. But where I'm from, the age of consent is 16 years old. So I do admit to having sex with a child who was of the age of consent, of course. Back where I come from, it was perfectly acceptable at the time, and I was going through some things, but that's neither here nor there. Right now, what's really important is that I'm looking down upon society, and I can see what looks like a nation in full decay right now. There you go. Did you guys hear Russell Brand's latest admission? It was that. What I just said? That's what he actually admitted. So I wasn't just making that up. That's like what he said. All right. Trout fishing at Hood Park said Ralph's got to... Oh, wait. I already read that. My bad. Ralph's got to go potty chair. Ralph's got to go potty chair. Ralph's got to go potty chair. All right. Look at that. Look at that beagle muffin. Are you beagle dogging? You going to take over the stream, Ralph? Ralph going to take over the stream? All right. Really? Really, Ralph? You really going to take over the stream right now? Looks like a... Do you guys enjoy the show tonight? Hey, if you guys had fun, hit the thumbs up button. I would appreciate it. If you guys had fun watching me break down the videos and do all these silly impressions. If you guys enjoyed it, hook a brother up with a thumbs up. Fist bumps to the screen. Thumbs up. Fist bumps. All right. Drew Stinson says, what do you make of Tim Heidecker buying InfoWars in his feud with this version of Alex Jones? Yeah, I don't know about any of that, to tell you the truth. All I know is that the new version of Alex Jones has been officially nuked. And if I was to guess, it seems like they have Will Sasso, maybe a couple other guys playing the new role, and that the Bill Hicks version is long gone. And so, yeah, this new version of Alex Jones is now like just used as the butt of a joke now, right? I don't see who even would be influenced by anything he says anymore. So, yeah, couldn't couldn't tell you who really buys and owns and controls these puppets and makes these decisions and whatnot, and why they decided to go in that direction with the Alex Jones character, but your guess is as good as mine, bro. Bob Lines says, do Arnold and Stallone showing up at the White House to protect Donald J. Trump?
Hey, I heard that you got a problem with Donald J. Trump, You try knocking him down. Why don't you try knocking me down now? Yes, and I always said that I was going to be back. And now, when I tell you that I'll be back, here I am. I am back right now. And of course, I have brought my sidekick with me, Sylvester Stallone. We are the dynamic duo like you have never seen before. When these two guys here, with me and Arnold, when we get together, we're going to make things happen right now. What we got happening, guys trying to kill Donald Trump and run it past security. Let me tell you, they're not going to be able to run past us. What do they think? We're stupid? What do you think? We got no brains? What do you think? We're dumb? We're not dumb. We're not scared. What do you think we're going to do? All right? We're going to be Secret Service. What do you want? That is what I was saying. Me and Sylvester, we're going to be the new Secret Service team, and we're going to protect Donald Trump at all costs. They're going to have to get through Rambo and the Terminator if they want to get to Donald Trump. They're going to have to get to Rocky. They're going to have to get to that guy from Jiggle All the Way. That was me. They're going to have to get to us. They're going to have to kill us if they want to get to Donald Trump. I would gladly get down and take a bullet for Donald Trump. I would die for Adrian. I would die for Uncle Paulie, and I would gladly take a bullet for Donald Trump any day.
All right. There you go.
Oh, absolutely. I would totally take a bullet for Donald Trump. He's a hell of a guy. He had me as a guest at the White House. He mispronounced my name, but that's okay. I forgive that.
All right, looks like I got a few ha-has and a few hee-hees out of that one. That's right. And this is all off the top of my head, off the cuff, right? I don't have time to prepare for any of these super chat requests. I just got to do it. Just got to make it happen. And it's difficult. There's a degree of difficulty here. And you definitely won't see other YouTubers doing it quite like this, or even making an attempt. Because if they did, they would crash and burn, my friends. Yes, they would. You ask any other YouTuber to perform some of these requests that I have performed tonight, and you would see them crash and burn. There you go. Well, anything else, you guys, before we wrap it up? Call it a night? Anything more? Make sure I didn't miss any super chats. All right. Looks like I caught up on all of them. All right. Yeah, it's about that time. Usually around the 3-hour mark, I just naturally start getting tired. I start fumbling over my words, and then I feel hungry. And then my dog's like, "Come on, dude, we need to walk, bro." And then, yep, and then that's it. That's time to end the stream is usually what that means. All right, guys. So until next time, this is your favorite truth teller, truth seeker, and comedian, and mine, and your favorite Beagle Dog, Ralph. And we'll see you next time in the next stream or the next video. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Thank you guys for all the super chat donations. There was so much support tonight. Shout outs to all the super chats that came in. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. And everyone else whose messages I didn't get to read, I will go back and watch the replay and check those out. So I will see who was all here and who all said what. So thank you guys. One last time before you go, hit the thumbs up. Good night. I love you guys. I really do. I love you guys. I'll see you guys possibly Saturday night. We'll do another stream. If I can scrape together enough shit worth showing you guys, then I'll do a stream for Saturday night. How's that? So until then, you guys take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Peace out. Bye-bye.